whenever you want.
SCIFTA is going to pass now, however, because funding for helium-3 is unpopular, will drain Obama's political capital, resulting in SCIFTA not passing. SCIFTA is key to the alliance, which is the key internal link to the hegemony. The collapse of both results in nuclear war on the peninsula, and DA outweighs case first on magnitude. The biggest nuclear war takes place in Asia because of proliferation pressures to 70,000. The blocks will fall quickest and hardest in Asia, where proliferation pressures are already building more quickly than anywhere else in the world. If nuclear breakout takes place in Asia, China monitors the nuclear arsenal intense with Taiwan and the United States. And time frame: it will take 20 to 50 years for a functioning moon mining program, but SCIFTA must pass by August. And probability: recent conflicts on the peninsula, escalation is already occurring. And answered independently, it takes longer to colonize on the moon than for war to occur, so those 100 quadrillion lives can't be created because we'll all be dead. And DA turns case, SCIFTA maintains hegemony through alliance cooperation, which solves other wars and errors. Our CAL's at 95 and their Thayer 6 from the 1AC proof. And line by line, first group uniqueness, it will pass. 1, extend the Reuters 5 that Boehner agrees that Obama's political capital is necessary to gain votes, and the Republicans will compromise. Reuters 6-7. We need to separate these issues and move ahead with these trade deals. Republicans would be happy to consider TAA if it was coupled with legislation to give Obama trade promotion authority to negotiate new trade agreements, and Obama is pushing SCIFTA. Reuters 6-7. Obama is committed to passing all three trade agreements this year. The administration has been moving toward the first step in congressional consideration of the agreements, the so-called mock markups held before the White House that formally submits the pacts. And answer spillover, extend Kaufman 8. Any spending on the moon is opposed by Congress, resulting in a trade-off of focus and political capital away from SCIFTA. And intrinsicness. First, rationality is subjective. While one party considers rational, the other considers outrageous. Irrational policymakers are inevitable. And ground intrinsicness functions as a no link that can apply to all DAs, meaning that NEC can't run them. And uniqueness shows that currently SCIFTA needs all the political capital and focus Congress has, but when the app as their planet trades off with SCIFTA. And on the first link, invite. The cross-apply, the analysis made on Kaufman 8 that Congress opposes any spending because of the deficit. And group the link debate. First, plan on popular 1, upcoming elections, PAL 10. The law administration faces uncertainty over whether Congress will provide NASA the full $19 billion for the current fiscal year. It remains up to congressional appropriators in November to vote the money. The 600-pound gorilla here is the U.S. economy and the need for fiscal responsibility across all agencies. NASA push her back to the moon constellation programs, behind schedule, over budget, and unachievable without $3 billion more a year. And Republicans want to decrease spending on space funding, plan for 10. With incoming Republican leaders threatening to dial back discretionary spending across the federal government next year, the $19 billion Congress authorized for NASA in 2011 could be in jeopardy. Boehner voted against the recently enacted NASA legislation to roll back spending in an effort to reduce the federal deficit. And the best warrants this is the best warrant on link up because upcoming elections being controversial. Spending bills won't be considered a win and will drain political capital, and winners lose. After healthcare was passed, Obama lost political capital, and the plan will be considered a win. Obama recently said he doesn't want to return to the moon and prefer our link evidence because they're permanent. 2, doesn't take into account current budget issues facing Congress, which their plan worsens. And on the second link invite. First, cross-apply the analysis made on Kaufman 8 that spending on the moon is extremely unpopular because of the economy. And on the alliance, the Cooper 9 doesn't take into account the effect of SCIFTA failure on the alliance, and free trade deals is key to overall relations and stability in Asia. Lead 9. The North Korean nuclear threat continues to dominate the security agenda. It continued to lay the passage of the Korea-U.S. free trade agreement for political interest will only elevate the unnecessary tensions. One of the leading barometers of American political influence for the next 2 to 3 decades resides in how we choose to manage American states and alliances. And alliances are a symbol America resolved without having no longer having influence, creating us the key internal link to hedge and extend the Huang and Kim and 5 and Doyle and 9 evidence that the South Korea alliance is key to stability, which prevents nuclear extinction. And on the politics theory, first, politics are good because of education. 1, we learned about real-world issues that are affecting Congress now, and 2, we learned what it takes for a bill to actually be passed, and it's more real-world. 1, every action has a reaction. In the case of politics, these reactions influence congressional members' future decisions. And 2, each issue is in separate cross-apply analysis from intrinsicness that uniqueness proves a trade-up will take place.